Hey, this is Ben Solomon, and welcome to this episode of the Techno Leadership Show. In this episode, we'll be looking at how to create a career vision and utilize that to make career choices that help us accomplish that vision that we envision. So, as I spoke in a previous episode, life vision comes first because I learned the hard way doing my career vision without considering all the other aspects of my life. And I got so narrowed into it and led to decisions that I made that weren't optimal for me. Career decisions, kind of jobs I took, or kind of roles that I got myself into, and all of those sort of things. So when you're getting to a point where you've done your life vision, you have an understanding of 10 years, where do I want to be? What do I want to have? And what are the things that I want to be able to do in that stage? And then you start looking at how do you do your career vision that supports that. For example, if you're someone who wants to be able to travel a lot, you might then now be able to go, okay, cool. Travel is one of my most important things. To get there, either you want to get into a career where you make a lot of money and you're happy to just bunker down for a period of time, make a significant amount of money, make investments into real estate or other investments that you find interesting, and create cash flow that you can live off, and then go traveling and enjoy that. The other thing you could do is build a career where now, especially now in 2021 and beyond, remote working is an option. Look, in all honesty, it could have been an option 10 years ago. We had the tools for it, we had everything for it, but the mentality of people, mentality of business owners, mentality of businesses in general was like, oh, we have to be here, we have to have all our staff in here, or else we can't operate, sort of, industrial age mentality. But what's happened in 2020 has pretty much blown that out of the water. We've been able to prove that most jobs can be done, especially most jobs that depend on technology and not always needing face-to-face interaction, can be done from anywhere. Unless you're like a surgeon or a massage therapist or a nurse, a tradesperson who has to be there to cut wood and build houses and that sort of thing. Other roles like in technology, engineering, there's stuff outside of that. You can do freelance work if you're artistically oriented, graphics design. There's copywriting. There's advertising. There's digital marketing. There's so many things that you can do that's remote. It does not have to be in an office. And we are moving as a world towards what's going to be the gig economy, which means jobs are going to be more and more gig based. There'll be a core staffing employment sort of thing for businesses, and then a lot of the projects will be getting done by teams that come together for a project, get it done, and then they disband as contractors. Just with the way employment laws are going, the way wage versus inflation disparities going, it's bound to happen. It's one of those things that is going to get pushed. And with all the technology that's now become available, and the opportunity to be able to do that has significantly grown. And we've also proved this concept in reality in the last year or so. So, especially those of us in the technology space, engineering space, we have the potential to be able to do a lot of that work away from the office. Whether employers are always going to allow that, well, I'm hoping that people see the benefit to employees as well by being able to have employees at home and working, which, like when I was living in Melbourne, I was commuting between an hour and a half each way to work. And that's a significant amount of time. And yes, I personally spend a lot of time listening to audiobooks and listening to audio courses and things like that, consistently using that opportunity to grow my knowledge, which helped again in my work and everything that I did. But for a lot of people, that is probably not going to happen, because if you don't have enough of an auditory learning style, it's difficult to grasp all the things auditorily and then utilize that in your working life as well. So with those things in mind, some people are probably spending 1 to 3 hours on the road listening to gossip radio, probably just trying to find ways to de-stress in other ways, playing games, whatever it might be, where those 3 hours could potentially be spent with family. It could potentially be spent with doing a hobby, and get that makes you feel like you have an outlet outside of work, and helps you then be able to be more refreshed going into work and doing your work better. So yeah, overall, looking at your life vision of what you want, and then setting your career vision so that it supports that life vision, and then set goals from there to build the kind of life that you want, the career that you want. So again, as I said in the life vision, try your hardest to get yourself in work situations that utilize more of your strengths. I know you can't fully be in the strengths zone unless you start a business and you're focusing on that, and you get employees or contractors to do other work, and you can focus on there. But even then, the first few years of business, you've got to be a jack of all trades. You've got to do everything. So it's one of those things to think about, and then look at how you can utilize most of your strengths in your career, and find an industry or a career line that actually is aligned with your core values. If one of your core values is autonomy, like in my case, if you're going to be in a big team in a bureaucratic environment, that's stifling as hell. Like, it is stifling. So you want to be in a situation, in an organization, in an industry, or in a position, a role where you have the autonomy to make decisions and deliver projects and create that value and contribution that you uniquely can create. But at the same time, if one of your top core values is something else, you have to find a role that aligns with that. That helps you find that fulfillment to be able to then do the work well, to be able to have the mental space and capacity to enjoy the rest of your life as well. So those are all aspects of things that you've got to think about when making choices. And look, in my case, I did an engineering in electronics and communication systems engineering. I didn't really think I would ever get into IT. I loved computers. I grew up playing computer games. I built computers in the 90s, did all sorts of things, enjoyed it, but I never thought I would go into computers, which is why I didn't do a degree in IT or computer science. Just wasn't in my radar. But I kind of fell into it. Like, electronics didn't, in the end, suit me. And I realized, based on strengths, weaknesses, all of those sort of things, that I could use my passion for technology and go down that path and make a career out of it. And then once that started, I was like, how do I utilize my strengths? Again, the desire to become a solution architect came up. And then I started working myself towards that. And then as I was heading towards that, an opportunity came to work in a managed service provider, and I went into there. Yeah, still technical, still would have given me the opportunity to potentially get into a solution architecture. But then from there, I had a sideways move, had a fantastic opportunity come up in a fantastic organization to work as an IT manager under, a fantastic IT director and had a fantastic IT team to work with, which meant we delivered fantastic projects, fantastic user experiences for our users, which we had almost 1,800 users. So it was a fantastic opportunity. And that desire for something, the vision for something bigger, drove me to get up there. So, and then the desire to get into general management at some point made me go, yep, I'll look at applying for director level and CIO level roles. And then I got the opportunity to work as a director of ICT, which again gave me a bigger understanding of business and how to integrate business needs and technology to get outcomes that a business can get. So these are all opportunities that come up when you have a certain vision, and then you can work your way up to there. And if that career vision then aligns with your life vision, you get more fulfillment, you get more enjoyment, and you can be more passionate about doing what you do as well. So hopefully that's helped you out. Hopefully that's given you some insights to think about as well. And I wish you all the best in your career journey as a tech professional, manager, and leader. And if there's any questions or any comments that you'd like to make, feel free to leave a comment below with the question, and I'll attempt to answer that in a future episode or in the comment section. And if you haven't hit the like button yet, please hit the like button and hit the subscribe button for future content like this. I wish you all the best. Have a fantastic day, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.